mattress away from the wall, and there was the little baby girl on the floor, just smiling. And it's like, I think Steve did it. So if y'all know Steve Canady, I believe he did it because, like I said, I'm 10 years apart from my oldest brother and 9 years apart from my youngest brother. So, and then a baby girl comes along, so I think they was a little jealous because mom finally got her baby girl. So on my adventure, like I said, I bounced the ball probably as early as age 5. But they wouldn't ever let me get to the basketball courts because I was so small. So my mom had ended up buying me a pail and a little scooper thing. So I used to walk around with the little pail, picking up the rocks, and I think that's how I ended up getting my name. So I'm picking up the rocks and putting them in the pail. So while my brothers in the whole neighborhood is at East Street playing ball or whatever, I'm sitting behind the fence. And they wouldn't let me play, so I just tossed rocks on the court. And then one day when my oldest brother started telling me I had to clean up the court, I think I stopped. So, but I think that's how I ended up getting my name Roc, because that's what I used to do, carry that little pail around and pick up rocks. And since they wouldn't let me on the court, I used to throw rocks on the court. And then I became the water girl. And so once I became the water girl, but I'm gonna go back because, like I said, I moved from Green Street to Narrowways, and as we already know, God's plan is already actually there. So my grandfather built the house on Narrowway. This is where we still live. So, like I said, and then we moved there, and just to think that knowing my story and knowing my basketball history, I was surrounded by nothing but basketball courts. I had Church Street. East Street was right literally in my backyard. So I could just climb the fence and go to the park or look at everybody that's at the park. And then I had Pender Street. Carolina Street came later. But like I said, I was surrounded by parks, and the neighborhood was filled with athletes. Man, it's really not like today, because now, like I always call the village, it's like the village it has so many people in it. Like, you ain't understand what East Wilson really looked like unless you research it. And I know Charlene Barnes did a lot in Black history, and I salute her for that, because a lot of people that stay on the East Wilson side and living in these houses, they don't even know the history behind it. And it's amazing that she shared it and researched it, and we got to share it. Little old Wilson, we really are an impactful city if you really think about it. Yep. So like I said, going back, everybody knew it, going back, bouncing the ball all through the neighborhoods. They knew when Roc Canady was coming through. And like I said, I used to be the water girl, so I'll sit at East Street Park, watch my brothers and all the people in the neighborhood play ball, because they was playing ball in and out. That's all we had, like sports, I mean, we went to school and stuff, and we knew academics was there, but I'm telling you, like, basketball was like around the clock, like 24/7. So you didn't have a choice but to be great in some kind of sport, because it was always doing something. Flipping, diving in the pool, all kind of stuff, jumping off trampolines, jumping off white tie service inner tubes. Like, it was just like so much athleticism in our city. It is beyond crazy if you go back and do the history. So like I said, I was a water girl, but while I was the water girl and bringing water, because they said we had the coldest water on Narrowway. So while I'm bringing the water and making sure everybody's good, I'm peeping out everybody's game. So while they're thinking I'm not really doing anything, I'm really actually perfecting my craft when they're not in the court. So, and Miss Creech always said I would go to Pender Street, and I would be out there playing, and then if somebody came out there, she was like, you'll cuff your ball and you'll go home. Like, you didn't want anybody to play with your ball. But I knew I was out there perfecting my craft, and at that time, I knew my dream was to play ball overseas. Not knowing that I would ever get there, but I had a dream, Back then, your parents asked you what you wanted to be. And that made a difference in a kid's life. Like, somebody really actually care to know what I want to do when I grow up, whether you be it or not. Like, you could say right now, kids can say, I want to be a nurse, a doctor, a teacher. Even if you don't feel like they can do it, you still got to encourage them and say, yeah, go be great. Go teach the kids. Go nurse on somebody or do whatever. Go get your baby doll. Do whatever. But like I said, I bounced the ball and I perfected my craft. Then the guys started picking me up on their teams before other guys. So, and this was like at probably 10. And I'm like, man, like I always tell people I salute the Aunt Hooks and all the people in the neighborhood because that man would go steal all the basketballs for me. Like there's a basketball in somebody's yard and he see me not doing something. I don't care. Back then they said the basketball had a titty on it and the wires was coming out. He'll go get it. And he said, you can bounce with this ball, then you can be great. So you had to learn how to bounce and where it don't hit on the titty like a ball. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll go every which way. But if you perfect that ball, then you could be great. And that's what I did. So he always on the sideline encouraging me. They always would pick me up. And let me tell you something. It was rough. Like they knew I was a girl, but they never treated me like one. Now, as I'm older, I realize why they did that. Because if you can perfect your craft in something and go against men day in and day out and battle with them, you can't be nothing but great. So like I said, they always pick me up. And then like I said, once I got to like now kids can go to middle school and play in 6th grade. Like basically, once I perfected my craft, I could have played in like 3rd grade. They made me that good that I could be like on the team. So when I got to Torsnot, 6th grade, I was very excited, you know. So then 7th grade year, I balled. Man, when I tell you I balled, like we went 7th grade year 12-0, 8th grade year 12-0. So they called me Michael Jackson Jordan because I had a curl. So they was like, and you know, they were always the people that, you know, you have people that like, they envy you, jealousy, and stuff like that at an early age because back then, you know, I wanted to be like my mom. I said, I'm getting a curl. You know what I'm saying? But she never really made my curl like hers to the reason why I wanted to get it. It's like she always put mine in a fro. I didn't have no juice. It was just, and I see why the kids used to talk about my curl. Because it won't like her. It wasn't jiggle. It won't do it like Michael Jackson or nothing. It was just stiff. So on picture day, they used to always bring me that little comb, and I'm like really, people, what can I do with that comb? I need a pick. So, and like I said, and the girls on the other teams, they would always say, that's why we lost the game, because we had to follow the drill, follow the drill, follow the drill. No, you lost the game because I was good. That's why you lost the game. So, like I said, 7th and 8th grade year, I was Michael Jackson Jordan. So, 9th grade year, I was on my way to fight. And I told my mom, I was like, now I'm going to high school, baby. So, I'm going to have to leave your trend on back in the back. I can't go to high school with the curl. So, I should have kept the curl because I was her baby girl, so hairstyling wasn't the best for us. Like, so it was like, just get up and go. Just as long as you go to school, I don't care what your hair look like. So, like I said, now going in the fight, 24-0. So what I didn't know is when I got to fight, my coaches, they said they had a meeting, and the JV team wanted me to play. The coach for JV wanted me to play on JV. So at that time, Coach Kent was like, have you seen what this kid can do? Like, she's 24-0. Like, have you seen really what she can do? So he said him and Coach Lamb talked about it. He was like, so would you rather this kid be on JV and score 50 points a night? Or would you want her to be on varsity and make a team and make something out of herself? So they had that little conversation, and after the fact, they told me the story. Like I told them, like, I ain't come here to play no JV. I ain't knocking it, which I didn't know a difference, you know, because back then, 9th and 10th graders played JV. Yeah. So to go in as a freshman, but see, when you're born in the village, nobody really knows our age because everybody was together. So we didn't keep up, even though my brothers were older, they made sure their little sister was great. So in the village, age didn't mean anything. So when we got to fight, they used to do the little chant, go home freshmen. But when we got to fight, we weren't really like freshmen, so they welcomed us in. They never did that chant at a pep rally, never told us to go home, because if we had to go home, then they had to go home. Right. Because the village was together. Right. So I got to fight, and like I said, my season started, and then you have non-conference games. You got conference games. And I played volleyball as well. So that gave me a chance to, keep my energy and everything together and, stay in shape. So, and I love volleyball. I was real good at volleyball too. But, coming from a family of athletes, I didn't have to worry about any sport really. My mom was awesome in softball. My brother's football, basketball, running from people. So like I said, I get to fight. And it's like, to be 24-0 and lose your first game. When I lost that first game, I was like, maybe JV ain't bad. But I didn't have that option. I didn't care because, like I said, most of the village was on varsity anyway. You had your TK, you had your Tanika Sanders, they was on varsity. So I fit right in as a freshman. And those years was great. Like I said, 3 years I was under Coach Kent. And then my senior year, the legendary Harvey Reed, Lord, Eddie Sumlin, rest in peace to both of them, Jesus Christ. But yeah, Coach Sumlin came back, legendary coach, my senior year. And that season was one of my most memorable seasons. And like I said, people see my story and, man, I started off volleyball as usual because volleyball, basketball, and track was my thing every year. So my senior season, played volleyball, fine. Basketball started, and probably about mid-season, I started like gaining weight. Didn't know why, I just started gaining weight. Still balling, because that's my passion, that's my love. So the trainer thought it was shin splints. So we went on about that the whole season or whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, shin splints, because everybody was getting shin splints. That was the norm, So, just like now, when people die, everybody is COVID. No. So sometimes you got to research and dig in and stuff. But like I said, went through that season. First 3 years, we probably won like 1 or 2 playoff games. My senior season, we had, there's some freshmen came in. They were some shooters. We had some ballers. Like, my senior season was like magnificent in my mind starting out. So, like I said, we get about to the end of, I say about regionals. And it was like I could barely walk. And I'm like, oh, what in the world? I'm not a doctor, but I'm like, man, I'm literally, I can't, it's hard to step down. So it's like, what in the world? So we going through the regionals. First game, we go to Southern Durham. And this looked like a college. I'm like, what in the world? Who we getting ready to play? You know what I'm saying? Like, we playing Duke. So we get in there and game going on. Like I said, I'm barely moving, but I'm making it. So at the end of the game, it's like, about 7 seconds left. And they had like this 6 foot, oh Lord, she was tall. And her name, Adrian Jordan, I'll never forget her. Adrian Jordan. And this girl, like I said, tall. So coach ran a play, and they always run the play for me. So it's like, oh, okay. So I'm like, man, we down. And I'm like, by 1 point. And they want to run the play. So I'm like, okay. So I'm over there praying, I'm praying, because I already know the play where he got the play going. I'm going to the big man. Looking like, dude. So, run the play. I come off Shamika Reed's screen, and here comes the giant. And I'm looking like, he really drew this up? He didn't know that the giant was there. So it's like, so I just threw the ball up. And I just fell to the floor because I was like, this whole season, I had these freshmen, and I'm like, they called me Mother Hen. The newspaper done gave me a name, Mother Hen, and her chicks. You calling me fat, like. So I'm like, okay, it sounded good though. So mother hen got to take care of chicks. Got to take care of chicks. Boom, boom, boom. So, but really they was taking care of me, and I didn't even know because I'm this point guard, this person that grew up in mines on the east side, and everybody looks up to me. So I don't feel like I'm bad, you know. I'm arrogant. That's what I am. So I'm like, I never knew that they really was taking care of me. Nobody really knew my pain but me. I didn't share it with nobody because I didn't want nobody to stop me from doing what I love to do. So I was willing to go any mile to do what I had to do. So, like I say, I shot the ball, fell to the ground, and my teammates started jumping on me. So I'm like, why y'all on me? What in the world? They were like, Roc, the ball went in. I said, no. No, the ball couldn't have went in. All I did was throw it up. But as I was throwing it up and falling down, I said, Lord, please let us win this game because these freshmen have worked so hard. Like the bigger picture, it wasn't even about me because I'm a senior. It wasn't even about me at that moment. And we won. And oh man, we won that game. We got back to Wilson. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing because I'm like, oh wow. So I'm hurting, but I'm still doing what I got to do. So, you know, in the day, like, people fail to realize what we all go through, but we still do what we got to do. So we get to the next game and we got to go to Greenville. And arrogant, you know, they always say keep God first. But at them moments, I thought it was all about me, you know. So we get to Greenville. In the blink of an eye, I know we probably down 17, 20 points. And I'm looking like, oh, what happened? And they looking at me like, Roc, what you gonna do? And I'm looking at them like, it's my senior season. You know, but I'm on cloud nine thinking that because so many letters is coming every day, I'm thinking I'm good. I ain't thinking about nobody else. I became selfish. So, like I said, we got down. And the girls, they talking junk. I thought they had somebody named Roc Canady. Roc Canady. Now, you know, when your coach tell you who you're playing, they tell you who the person them is, you knew who Roc Canady was. Yeah. But they standing right beside me, and I'm like, they don't even know I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that. But like I said, we went in at halftime, and the message that my assistant coach gave me, because I had went up for a layup right before halftime. I had planned it, really. I planned it in my head. I said, I'm going to come down and act like I went on my ankle. Yeah, I want to get out of this game. I don't want to play no more. And I mean, it was plenty of people in the stands, coaches, everything. But like I said, in the background, I thought I was already good because my plan was always to go to Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I always knew. My whole room was Carolina. All I wore was Jordans. You know, it was just... That's what I said of where I was going. So like I said, at the end of the day, got in there and the coach was like, are you going to play? What you going to do? My ankle. I can't go. I can't go, man. I can't do it. My ankle, my legs hurting. I can't do it. I even fake cry and everything. I can't do it. So I don't know what he did over there in his little bag, but he come back like Mr. Miyagi. Take your shoe off. I was like, really, my ankle ain't really hurting, but okay. So I took my shoe off. You know, I got to play it off. Yeah, okay. And he did something. He put his hand. I was like, dude, I have seen Karate Kid, okay? Well, all right. So he said to me, he said, you're a senior. You're the only senior that plays. I said, yeah. Man, put another senior in. We got one more. One but two of us. I was like, put her in. And but I didn't say that though. So he was like, it's your senior season. But see, in the background, he already knew. My legs had done sent everybody away. So really and truly, but I don't know this. So he's still trying to get me out there because there's college coaches out there. And he's still trying to get me to go back out there and do what I need to do. So I was like, so he told me, he said, you can't leave these girls like this. They freshmen. Now what would you think if those seniors that you came in under would have left you? I was saying to myself, well, I wouldn't have cared. I'm the greatest. You know, it's me. You know? So the message hit me, and I was like, all right, let me get back out here. So I went over, after we huddled up, went over to Shamika cuz. I said, yo, cuz, look, we got to win this game. I got to win this game. She said, what do you want to do? I said, what you do is, I'm going to come down, and you set a screen right there at the free throw line. You know that's my shot. Whatever side you on, when I get this ball out of bounds, that's what side I'm going on. She said, all right. Mind you, we down 20. In the blink of an eye, we were leading. I came down, I know I hit like 7 shots in a row. They never caught on. And when they caught on, Shamika Reed was a beast in the paint. Then I had Belle Foster. Then I had Carolyn Gilligan and Kalita on the side. The Dynasty 5. We were back. You couldn't stop none of us. None of us. So I had 3 freshmen and a junior. Man, we won that game. I got arrogant again because when them girls came to shake my hand, do y'all know who Roc Canady is now? Huh? Do you? All right. But hold on now. Hold on. Y'all don't go nowhere. Because I think it's an MVP trophy for me.
I know that's right.
Not knowing if it won or not, but I did get it.
Hey.
I did get it. Not act like I didn't know I was going to get it. So I fake cried again. And I got pictures to prove it. But so on. So after we getting ready to go to the championship, we playing at Carolina. So I'm getting ready to play in front of Sylvia Hatcher. I'm thinking she already done got me in the bag, so man, yeah, I'm good. I'm finna go play in my gym. Okay. So we get there again. Like I said, at the end of the game, we had to do the same thing that we did, but we went down 20. We was probably down like 6 or 7 points. Me and Shamika, here we go again. Game plan. 5 seconds left. We went up, came back down. The girl, I remember like it was yesterday. The point guard threw the ball in the paint. And it could have been my fault because I really want a defensive player. I'm an offensive man. I ain't thinking about no defense. You know. So it could have been my fault because I probably could have had my hand up. I need to see the game. You know, my niece videoed over my game with Video Soul, so I can't go back and look at it. So it could have been my fault, but the girl threw the ball in the paint, and the girl backed Shamika down, and she just threw the ball up. And it went in. But we still got 5 seconds. But we're in the college. So it's like, I couldn't get open. When I say my legs gave out, I couldn't get open to get that ball to save my life. So they passed it in to Carolyn, and she threw it up. And as I watched that ball, and I said, man, it's over. And I just fell to the ground. I know I probably cried for about 2 weeks. Cried one because if we would have won the game, we were going to Michael Jordan restaurant. And I was hungry. And so we lost 66-64. But we played good. So like I said, at the end of the day, we played good. So now, getting on to the testimonial side of it all. After basketball, I couldn't run track because I could barely walk. So I said, I'll still try to play AAU ball. You know what I'm saying? Nisha like, what you gonna do? I was like, I try. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just go with the team, you know. So I played like a couple games, and then I just told coach, I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I can't do it. So he was like, what's going on? I said, I can't. This is the final straw. I gotta go see what's going on with my legs. So I called up coach, and he was like, well, we've been waiting on you to see what you were going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, like, at the end of the day, like, that's a legendary coach because the season was over. That man didn't have to care about me. He had to care about my future. But that's why he was a legendary coach, because he was more than a coach. He was like the father to us. He was there for us. So they took me to see Dr. Gillette. We were sitting in there, and they did the x-rays on my legs. And he was taking a long time. I'm like, man, what in the world? So when he finally bopped back in there, he was like, you want the good news or the bad news? And I was like, man, I can't play basketball. I just want to be at an AAU game. Well, you come on, give it to me. I've been barely running up and down the court playing basketball, and I actually did it. So he said, well, that's what took me so long, Roc. He said, we was in there, and we was sitting at the table, and we looking at these x-rays, and we like, how in the world did this girl do what she did this season? I'm like, huh? He said, we can't figure it out. He said, but the thing about it is, you got to know somebody in a higher power because you decided to stop and see what was going on and, research. I said, all right, well, let me see the x-rays. So when you put the x-rays up there, y'all, let me tell you something. It looked like my legs were already broke. And I had already felt it, like my bone was coming out my skin. But I thought it was shin splint. So he was like, we put them pictures up there. Y'all, like, I immediately started to cry because what am I getting ready to do? And he said, it's amazing. Like, so when Coach Sumner said, so what you think? What you think? So it was like, I really don't know. Now, they calling me the greatest doctor around here, but we don't know. That's why it took us so long to get in here. Because we're still trying to figure out how did this girl play a whole season. These bones is broke. So he said, well, I really don't know what to tell you to do, but I'm going to give you something to try. And we're going to just try it and see how it goes. And he asked Coach, he's like, well, when does colleges start up? And Coach, you can kind of see them. They didn't really want to answer. They didn't really want to answer. I'm like, when college start up, you know what? And they look on their face was like, already telling me like, something ain't right. So Coach Sumner, being the man that he was, and being an honest man, he said, there ain't no schools. I said, what? Ain't no school. What you mean? So to hear that at 17, it's like, so what in the world am I gonna do? So he said, well, Dr. Gillette said, this is what you do. Drink milk every day. I said, okay. I don't know what that's gonna do, but drink milk every day. I said, okay. And he said, I don't know if it's gonna work, but just try it. He said most colleges start around August time frame, basketball around October. So just do that, try it. So I said, okay, well, when I get home, I'll try it. I said, but when I get home, I got to pray. Because like I said, you're a doctor. This is your profession. But there's a man that has the last say in everything, and that's through prayer.
Amen.
So I got home. I'm crying. I'm bawling. Coaches didn't even want to leave me because, that's devastating. You can have like suicidal thoughts to know that you done bounced this ball all this time and you good. But I had to become obedient and do what the doctor said. But when I got home and I put that prayer down, and my mama put that prayer down, my grandma put that prayer down, you got to have a praying background. You got to have somebody to always pray for you.
Yep.
And I drunk milk, and it's like I said, you would think cows was on Narrowway Street. Little one way, you would have thought we was out in the country. There was so much milk coming. The school bringing milk. Mama getting milk. The milk store probably was sending milk. But I did that because God told me he could turn it around for me if I just do what the doctor said. And you think in this life, when the doctor tells us to do something, if we just do it, how he can turn around. So I drunk milk every day, milk water every day, but I'm still just perfecting my craft just in case. So I called back over to Reed Street and I asked him, for my job, because I had to finish up what I started. So I said, all right, so check my job out. Let me call Miss Deborah. Let me see what's going on over there. I can make some money, Summer leave starting up. So I'm sitting in summer leave one day on the end right by the door because I had to make sure who came in, who went out, and things like that. So Wilson Daily Times come in. And they, Roc, yeah, it's me, what's up? So I want to interview you. And I'm looking like, what do you want to interview me for? Like, I'm just at the summer league. Like, you want to talk to one of the boys that's playing? He's like, no. He was like, can you step out for a second? I said, sure. You know. So, went out in the hallway. He said, is the basketball court around here somewhere? Now, mind you, I'm saying to myself, like, dude, if you don't go ahead and tell me what's going on, you messing with my money.
Yeah.
You know, messing with my money. So I asked my boss, I said, well, can I go to the back? Because y'all know behind Reed Street, there's a basketball court. So he said, you got a ball? And I'm saying to myself, what in the world is going on? So it's like, got a ball for what? So we get out there, and he said, well, I'm going to give you the background. And, you know, I ain't want you to go screaming and shouting and this and that. He said, but I was told to come down here and interview you because your coaches have worked out a deal with Lewisburg where you can go to school and get you a 2-year degree. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, what's the ball for? He said, well, they want you to be like the manager or scorekeeper or something. The what? The who? He said, but the thing about it is their thought process, the bigger picture is they want you to be around the game. Because if you know the game, it makes them better. Mm-hmm. To spread the love. And I said, okay, well, that sounds good. And I can get a 2-year degree. Because they always say you get a degree, you can get a better job. Mm-hmm. You know, so I said, okay. So we did the interview. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm still drinking my milk. So August, I go to Lewisburg. I'm at Lewisburg. And mom dropped me off. And I'm like, all right, I'm in college. Okay, this feeling good. Mind you, by the time I got to my dorm room, we didn't have air conditioning. So probably by the time mom got to Wilson, I was calling her back. Oh, I got to feel that AC one more time, girl. Can you please come back and get me? You know. And she came back, because that's what she do. She love her baby. Salute to you, girl. So she came back and got me. I had to feel that air. Oh, and I was on the 3rd floor, the top floor. Oh, and that heat was rising. And we don't do heat too well. So, but like I said, school started. I'm cool, you know. Basketball started, and again, something amazing. Man, that's why I always say obedience is blessings. Because something amazing happened while, I guess on my timeline from the doctor till I went to school. So, practice started. Coach called me down to his office. I said, what's up, Coach Holloman? He was like, got Dr. Gillette on the phone. I said, oh, okay, that's what's up. What's good? What's going on? He said, well, you talk to him. I don't know. But in the background, he knew. So Dr. Gillette said, you been drinking your milk? Yep. Just like you told me. Just drunk some before I got into practice. He said, well, your last x-ray looked good. I said, okay. Mind you, I ain't ran, I ain't did nothing on these legs. So he said, well, I'm approving you to play. He said, you want to play? Do I want to play? I was like, what? So Coach Holland was like, well, go to the locker room and see if they got an extra jersey for you. So I bop on down the steps. I was like, oh, snap, I get to play. I walk into the locker room, y'all, man, you would have thought I was in the draft. They had that thing decked out for me with my jersey. Wow. Oh, my God. I just fell to my knees and I told God, oh, my God, thank you. But mind you, still, I have not ran on these legs. I have not done anything. No conditioning, no nothing. So I go up to practice and the girls looking like, Roc, what's up? You playing? What's good? I was like, doctor cleared me, but I ain't done nothing. They were like, but you been shooting and stuff, like you been, doing whatever. I said, but I ain't done no full practice. So practice started. Let me tell y'all something about God. That day I never looked back. I never looked back. I was back, y'all. I was back. I was beasting them girls like, I'm back. And they were so hyped. Practice was so amazing that day that you can't do nothing but give this man praise because these were 2 broken legs. Amen. Where the doctor told me that I was going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life if I would have kept playing ball. Milk does a body good.
Amen. Amen.
So I'm saying to myself, I'm back. Played at Lewisburg. We went all the way to the regionals and everything. All in Kansas. We everywhere. We good. We didn't win a championship in those 2 years, but we good. I graduated from there, and my second year there, when we went to the regionals, East Carolina was there. So she said, you want a scholarship? Oh, snap. So I'm going from junior college to a 4-year school on a scholarship. Basketball. Let me get that right. Basketball scholarship. I'm still back, y'all. I'm still playing. When I say no pain at all. The only time now that I feel pain, and back then, if somebody would hit me in that spot. Because I guess how the bone grew back. But that's the only time I feel pain. But it was 2 broken legs. 2 broken legs. At the shin. So imagine me not having a shin right now. Not having a shin. So like I said, I went on to East Carolina. I didn't do my internship because there was a professional camp in Atlanta. So I talked to my mom. I was like, oh, they got a professional camp. And the WNBA was out. And she had asked me, WNBA? No. My road has been very different. You got to be top athlete. I just came to East Carolina on a blessing. So I ain't looked to be no top athlete. I was still good, still doing what I had to do, but I wasn't looking to be the greatest because of my story. I was just happy and blessed to be out there.
Amen.
So I went to the professional camp, and I had my little sidekick with me. Elijah probably was, 4 months? He was young, but he wanted to hang with me. Elijah Holyfield, I got to throw my cuz out there. It was like my lucky charm. He wanted to go with me. He just got attached to me when I got to Atlanta for some reason. I don't know. So, but being who his dad is, he's sports.
Who is dad?
Holyfield. Evander.
No.
So, he with me. And everybody like, why you bringing a little kid to the game? He got attached to me. I don't know. God sent. So, I went through the camp. Slicing and dicing again. They couldn't. Oh, Lord have mercy. And there weren't even no scouts there. It was just, they going to base it off of a tape. And I got a chance to go play professional ball in Russia. I didn't know about Russia. I always read about Russia, but if you ever know, Americans don't belong in Russia. So, the whole time I was there, they always said, where are you from? And they had an African university there. So me and my teammate always said, oh, we're from Africa. And I know they were looking like, no. But we never told them we were from America. I guarantee you that. Even though the passport said it, we never told them. And it's a good thing we never told them, because at the end of our season, we didn't even know that we were sponsored by the mafia. Oh, okay. So that explains why the men chased us one night. Oh, they like they got us. We all down at the club in Russia. Why? We don't know no streets. We don't know nothing. Our translator fell asleep. We couldn't get him. We just out there in Russia. At a club. And they were like Oscars though. But we didn't know what they were playing or what they were saying. And the dances were crazy because they were doing some kind of, But we didn't have a ride back home is what I'm trying to tell y'all in Russia.
Oh, man.
And these 2 guys, my roommate, she was tall. She's about 6 foot something. She's tall. So, guys want to holler at her, boom, bounce. I'm just sitting back, kicking back like, don't y'all come over here. I don't have nothing for you. I don't have nothing for you. Now, that's the time I'm going to tell you that I'm from America. We know some tricks. You better get away from it. So, they ended up bringing us home, but we was followed. And they were following the men, and we didn't know. So when the men dropped us off, we walking, just talking, and we see some lights, and it's like, who is that? And then these men just get out the car. Oh, we took off. And my teammate, she just so happened turned that key, and that door opened. We fell in, and when the door closes, it locks. And they were banging on the door. Hey, let us in. We had to call our coach. They had to call the U.S. Embassy and everything. Like, it was scary. But I went to Russia. Then I came back. Then they gave us a chance, and I got a chance to go to Beijing, China. So I played in Russia, and I played in China. So when you say living out your dream, God allowed me to live out my dream. I played ball overseas. That's all I used to ever talk about. It wasn't no WNBA. We didn't have that. It was always all athletes was playing ball overseas if you was great. And I played ball overseas. The little kid from Narroway. The little kid from Narroway played ball overseas. So the thing about it is, you know, and that was my basketball. And then I came back, and it's so crazy because I tell people, I'll tell you how God works again, because I'm in China, balling, good team, you know what I'm saying? Most of my teammates, when I got back, you could see them playing against the USA in the Olympics. That was my team. But I couldn't play because I was from the USA. So how I got back home was SARS broke out. Just imagine. SARS. What are we in now? SARS broke out, and like the blink of an eye, the news is like, oh, 300 people that died. And I'm like, and my agent like, I know they messing up your contract, but they was messing up my contract. That's why I say how God works, because my contract was messing up. And she said, well, you can stay over there and I get it right. No, now, because if I get SARS in China, and my mama and my family think I'm over here playing ball, and I done got hit with the plague, and they done buried me, they ain't shipping me home. No, let me get back on the United States soil. Thank God for messing up.
Amen.
Messing up that. Because I said, I played in Russia. I played some in China, but now we got a breakout. I don't know, no. Even though I can get Jordans over there, $7, $9, I got to go. And they treat you like a queen. Loving basketball, if you seen that movie, they treat you just like that. You don't have to worry about nothing. As soon as you walk in the hotel, Rose. I'm like, yeah. They own you. And see, when I went through the draft, the funny story about when I went through the draft, I had to take y'all back. Because when I went through the draft, I got picked second, but I didn't know I got picked. Because you on the board. And they never put my picture up there, so I didn't know. So I was like, they kept saying, Rose Lee to Beijing Ducks. And now me and my teammate looking like, who is Rose Lee? And we don't know. Maybe somebody, they just, because a draft, you can pick people from anywhere. So until they put my picture on the TV, they was like, Roc, that's you. I said, my name ain't no Rose Lee.
It's from China.
But they explained it to me, because my name is Rosalind, and the origin of my name is Pretty Rose. And everybody in China gets the N Lee. So Rose Lee was my name. But I didn't know. So it's good to study the origin of your name before you go to another country. But I got drafted second, and like I said, it was amazing. Get on the train with my coach. She knows no English. So the train ended up like taking me somewhere else because she off the train. And I'm still on the train. But I don't know because I went to the bathroom. I couldn't find the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, but when they took me to the bathroom, I'm standing in there, and I got pictures. I'll show y'all one day. I'm standing in the bathroom because I'm like, well, where's the toilet? Where? Okay,
man.
So she brought me in, but what I supposed to do? So I just go over there and hit this flap. Oh, I see the train track. What the? Okay. Mind you, I had to use the bathroom so bad. Now, mind you, the toilet it is a toilet. It's 10. So imagine when you got to use the bathroom real bad. And you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. And that stuff is popping up off that 10. So when I come out of there, I was wet all up. I was like, oh God, So now, in reality, excuse my French, I was pissy Rose. Hey, I had to use the bathroom, so, a squat won't work. But anyway, she liked the left me. But like I said, I was on a great team. Like I said, I went, played ball overseas. It's amazing, y'all. Amazing. And like I said, that's why I say obedience is my blessings, because to know at 17, I was playing on broken legs. And now I get to stand up here with no assistance and tell my story. So he is almighty. And like Jeffrey said, whatever you decide to do in your life, pursue it. But I thank God for my support team, because we have to realize that in this day, without support, these kids can't do anything. We have to be supportive. Like I said, whether we feel like they can do it or not, encourage them. Because God is good. And it starts with us. It starts with us because, and I tell each generation, you got to have some people to step up in your generation, because when I'm talking about the village, I can't talk about the village to them. You know, we got to come up with some names where they can relate. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to give it back to the hood, but the village is something good, but what do we call it for the kids that they can relate to what we're talking about? Because that's the only way that we're going to get to them. Because we all was in the streets. We all took risks. You know, I tell the kids now, we all took risks. I sold my little $5 weed bag, you know, until 7. When I got to 7th grade, when I got to 9th grade, trying to go to high school and still sell them Nick bags. And then they came out with their program. And you know, if you tell that somebody got something here, they give you $25. Well, we had snitches back then. I said, I'll wait till I get out of school and do what I got to do. Because I don't want them to find my little sweet pickle bucket. It ain't got no sweet pickles in it. So, and like I tell kids now, like Corey Thomas said, the drug dealers was our role models. You know? And they always said, drug money bought you what you want. Mm-hmm. They always said that. And we seen that. So now when I say I flipped my life around, I went from the Nick bags, drug money still buying me what I want because I work at Novartis. They just generic, but they legal. So when you can tell your story and everything flips around, you know, it flips around, went from Nick bags to insurance and 401k, out of jail. You know, we can use those same terms on what we do in life to get to these kids, to get them to understand that we can be all right. But you got to put the Almighty first in your life, because everybody got a story. Everybody got a testimony. That's why I tell people all the time, when you're telling your story, tell it. Can't nobody tell their story like you. I don't care what they say. They might say what they think or what they feel, but can't nobody tell their story like you.
Definitely.
Because I don't know, what do y'all, I got a question. And then I'm going to get on. What do y'all think is the most powerful drug that's out there right now?
PCP. They're trying to kill me. They're far that way.
What drug do y'all feel like is the most powerful out there? Anybody?
The boat. The boat.
Now, a drug is, it can be an addiction for good, or it can be an addiction for bad. So I'm gonna explain it like that. So what would you think right now is the most powerful drug that we're witnessing in our life?
I just told you.
Hush.
Love.
Huh?
Love.
I'm going to tell you what I feel like it is, and this is just my personal view. The most powerful drug that's out there right now is Facebook.
Yeah.
The most powerful drug is Facebook. Social media. It can make or break you, and we don't even realize it. I didn't come up with that. The Almighty told me to tell that, because everybody would think of different drugs and this and that. But Facebook is so powerful that we let it be powerful. We let it be powerful over our life when it doesn't have to be. Because I tell people, every action don't deserve a reaction, because, and this is when I'm getting into my element now, who I am. And that's why obedience is my blessings, because I got to make sure that the village is good. I found my divine purpose to understand what my people need. You know, Dante, you asked me. It's a good thing that you came back home. But Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz says there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Little old Wilson is so impactful, and we don't even know. We got young entrepreneurs, older entrepreneurs. You know, you got people that knock you back just because, oh, you make a shirt, oh, I make a shirt. Well, they got a Walmart out there, a neighborhood Walmart. They got about $4 General, 4 Family Dollars. Mm-hmm. We all can be great.
Definitely.
Your shirt quality ain't going to be the same as theirs. Your presentation ain't going to be the same as theirs. That's why in life, whatever you put your mind to, do it. Don't worry about what the next person is doing, driving, where they live, what they do, because you have to find your own divine purpose, and you have to enjoy your dash. I say it all the time. Enjoy your own dash. And the reason why I say Facebook is so powerful is because there's a box that said, what's on your mind? The box said, what's on your mind? Mm-hmm. But then the kill, steal, and destroy comes in the comments. Mm. It's powerful, y'all.
Speak on it.
It's powerful. And we have to understand that it's destroying the village. Because I only can talk about my East Wilson, my city. It's destroying us. An app is destroying us. We don't even have dreams and goals now because all we want to do is post. We don't even know who we want to be because we want to post who we think we are.
Speak it.
But I tell people all the time, you ain't what you're supposed to be. Uh-huh. Because Friday, I said I was in Atlanta. Saturday, I got up and worshiped in my kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Speak on it.
It's all in what you make it. But every time somebody does an action, you don't have to react. Find out who you are. Then you don't have to worry about the comment section.
Amen.
Because once I put what's on my mind, I'm going to go read the comments. But you ain't going to see me in no reaction. Mm-hmm. Now, I might call a couple of my friends and, yeah. But I wouldn't put it out there to the world. You have to grow from that. Mm-hmm. Because now people realizing, I couldn't even get that job, but I'm qualified. They done went through your Facebook. You know, Facebook is now like credit. Mm-hmm. But you got to be careful, and that's my word. After my testimony of my basketball life, now I'm in my element of my divine purpose, and that's what I want to tell my city. We're going to all be great. Live out your dreams, but don't let nobody dictate your dash. Don't let nobody have power over your life that somebody higher gave to you.
Amen.
Nobody's waking you up in the morning. The alarm clock ain't even waking you up in the morning because the batteries can die in the night. Somebody can nudge you in the morning, but they ain't wake you up. They don't have that warm blood running through your veins. So I tell people, don't give people the power over your life. Because the thing about it is, and I'm going to get on out your way, because this is why I say don't give them power. And I said this in my Saturday morning worship. If somebody says something about you or thought something about you, and you gave them power over your life, you gave them the almighty power, mm-hmm. And just think if that person felt like they had that much power over you that they can shut your life off right there. Mm. That's what I say of power. Y'all, most people are giving people power over their life, but you're not putting the warm blood in their body.
Speak on it.
You're not waking them up in the morning.
Uh-huh.
You're not starting them on their way.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing of it is, take this message from me, y'all. Do not let nobody dictate your dash, and do not give nobody power over your life that the Creator gave to you.
Amen.
He gave you a birthday, and He gave you that little dash in the middle, but that little dash is so powerful because it's your life. Mm-hmm. It's your story.
Amen.
Don't wait for your remarks at your funeral service because you won't hear them. Now, whether people giving you good or bad remarks on earth, take them and roll with them. That's how they make you great.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the body go cold, you ain't going to hear none of those remarks. Because at a funeral service, you're supposed to talk to the living, not the dead, because they done did what they had to do. They done did what they had to do. You know, and we always say, oh, gone too soon. Oh. But live. If you live, nobody will say you gone too soon. Live your life.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy your dash. And that's how I'm going to end my story. And like I said, I want to thank our Wilson for having me. As they call me Mayor Canady, I want to salute Wilson Preparatory Academy.
Amen. Yeah.
The championship that they just brought back to the city.
Yeah.
It's amazing to know that since 1984, a boys basketball team in Wilson County, we haven't won. 1984. And a group of young men from a Wilson Preparatory Academy, coached by the Harlem Globetrotter, Anthony Atkinson, made a difference in the boys' life. Before the basketball court, in their life.
Hallelujah.
They know they won a championship, but they champions to the Almighty.
Amen.
They did something that people doubted them. We get doubted every day. But when you can do something great, it X's all the negative out. So every negative from this day on, from you got a negative in your life, there's a positive. If you can't find that positive, you call me. Now, I don't got to know you. There's so many strangers on my page. But we done grown because we have to grow in Christ. But if you can't find a positive and a negative, all you got to do is get up and look in the mirror. And there go your positive. Because all you got to do is say, I'm still here. In despite of everything that I've gone through or may go through, I'm still here. And I'm going to leave it at that. Like I said, thank y'all for having me. God bless y'all. Be safe.